little bit about yourself.
Well, I am David Clarke, I just told you, I'm your brother. And you're my older brother, but I became a Christian 30 years ago. And we are here, and this documentary that we're about to do is the beginning of a series.
A series of what?
Trojan Warriors, we call it.
So this book is the first in a series.
The book is the first in a series, but the documentary we're doing now is about what it's all about, really, what Trojan Warriors are about.
Headline news: Man dies in prison in the Philippines, published on Friday the 10th of June 2005. Prison: An Eastbourne man who was jailed for promoting child prostitution has died in a Filipino prison. Michael Clarke, 58, formerly of Willingdon Park Drive, has died from TB after serving a 10-year jail sentence. In 1995, he was accused of organizing child sex package holidays from Eastbourne. An in-camera crew filmed Clarke and they alleged he was discussing opportunities for men to have sex with children as young as 11. At the time, Clarke, pictured, was running Paradise Express, a company which ran adult holidays in the Philippines. He claimed he had been tricked by the reporter and denied having any involvement in the child sex trade. But a year later, he stood trial in the Philippines and was sentenced to 16 years imprisonment. He died on May the 27th. Just a week after his death, his family received a letter to confirm he was set to be released early 2003, for good behavior. Hello David, you know who I am. I am Rachel, and I feel I should ask you some questions. Would you please tell me why you took on your deceased brother's identity in February 2011?
Year that you came to the Philippines for the first time.
Yeah.
What made you come to the Philippines?
Well, it was the fact that you had become a Christian after many years.
It was the recognition
Yes.
that after your praying
Yes.
for 30 years, that you found out that your prayers have been answered.
Well, I'm not saying I prayed for you for 30 years. Obviously I prayed for you, but the reality of it is this: I was converted 30 years ago. Christ actually spoke to me, no doubt about it, and set me on a mission.
Well, I seem to remember, David, that after trying to explain about how I was set up for a crime I didn't commit, and you in the Western world felt that there's no smoke without fire, so you rejected me. You think I was bluffing or spoofing.
Well, no, I didn't reject you. I felt you actually deserved getting sent away for what you were doing.
This is a Trojan Horse production featuring Michael Clarke, inmate of New Bilibid Prison, and David Clarke, director of Trojan Horse International,
What led you
Films
to me was
Incorporated.
the release of Sonny Wilson, who got acquitted off death penalty.
This is a Trojan Horse production featuring Michael Clarke, inmate of New Bilibid Prison, and David Clarke, director of Trojan Horse International, Films Incorporated.
That categorically says that I was
Hello
not
David,
guilty.
you know who I am.
Yes,
I am Rachel, and I
that
feel I
is
should
a
ask you some
judicial
questions.
system. My
Would you
case
please tell me
would be
why you took on your
thrown
deceased
out
brother's
of court.
identity in
However,
February
we're not here to say
2011?
anything about the judicial system.
I'll tell you what happened. Right? He
Yes.
came to me, he actually ran me up on Christmas Day.
On Christmas Day.
1,999. Yeah. He actually had come out of the prison on the 23rd,
Oh, I remember.
flew back to England and ran me up on Christmas Day.
Yes.
He said he got me a Christmas present.
A present.
Yeah. The news that the confirmation and evidence that you were innocent of the charge. That was the NPR report he got.
And it was then you. How did he get you? Did he bring
He
it
came to me, him and his wife came.
So he came down from Dover in
He
Kent.
stayed with me for several
So
days.
it's a 2-hour drive. He came all the
Yeah,
way down
yeah.
on Christmas to give you this good news.
Yeah, just after Christmas he came.
How did you feel when you read the
Honoured.
NPR
I was
report?
honoured to receive him because I knew that he was.
No, you missed the question. How did you respond to reading the NPR report?
Well, the truth of the matter was, Michael, it's such a long report, I couldn't understand it. Right? And I didn't respond until 6 months later, when I finally realised what it was telling
So
me.
you digested it.
Yes, it took me time.
Yeah, so it's another world. You couldn't-
Yeah, I couldn't comprehend.
So, okay, let's cut a long story short. After 6 months, you began to get inspired
Yes, I
to
was
come
inspired,
to the
yeah.
Philippines to see
Well,
the reality.
Let me tell you what happened, right? You had written to me that you were interested in Christian things, and I actually just put it on the back burner. I wanted to see the evidence. You wrote to me telling me how depressed you were, you didn't like, can't face a future, and all this, that, and the other, right? And I thought, well, God is actually going to deal with it.
Yes.
Now, a year later, you write to me and told me that you actually read Martin Lloyd-Jones' books on spiritual warfare, on joy unspeakable, full of glory, and you had read
And C.S.
Lewis's book called Mere Christianity.
And that was the book that Sonny Wilson left with
Yes,
me.
yeah. Now, when I saw the change in your letters, I knew that you had become a Christian. So I wrote back immediately and told you, instructed you to get baptised. I actually rang up the newspaper, Lizzie Miller.
Okay. Can I tell you something? When your letter was in transit to me, my letter was in transit to you.
Right.
Saying I've already
formulated the baptism
because I was inspired. I was dragged to the water tank.
Yeah.
Pastor Lucas tried to say that, well, we can do it next. It wasn't good enough. It had to be done. I had to tell the Lord. I was an ambassador. And I got 25 other people. And we asked him for Pastor Lucas to improvise. And it was a wonderful celebration.
So that's actually the baptism there.
Yes.
In the oil drum.
Yeah.
Now, why was it in the oil drum, you tell me?
Because at the time,
45 gallons.
the actual baptism, what do you call it, where you get baptised?
Different, immersed.
No, the actual place.
Trough, a baptismal pool.
A pool.
A river will do.
This church or Bible centre always borrows one over the other side of the wall.
Right,
Now, this is a large compound, 12 hectares, divided into 2 sections. Now, at the time, there was gang warfare, so it was